Welcome to the How to Draw Flower series on Rare Finesse, and our first flower today is going to be a tulip. So we're going to draw our first flower. As I mentioned before, it's going to be a tulip. A tulip is the first flower on How to Draw Flower series. For that, we first choose a brush tool here, and under it we choose a pencil. Set the size to 1 pixel, and we're going to start drawing. So if you look at any tulip pictures, you usually notice that it's made of ovals or ellipses. We're going to draw 4 of them. So one in the front, right? One next to it, like on the side. There's another one, and there's another one at the back, just a little higher. This is some fair view of this. Now we're going to draw a triangle here, which will indicate the sepals. I don't say that the triangle is literally where it's going to be, but it's somewhat there, okay? Now we're going to draw this like this, and these are going to be for the stalks. We're going to draw 2 lines, right? And they're going to be for the stalks, and yeah. So on the next layer, which is also going to be a color layer, we're going to increase the size of this pencil by 4 pixels, okay? And we're going to draw again. So we're going to draw somewhat over the previous one, right? And but this time we want to really have the shape. Previous time it was just a rough sketch, so this time we really want to have it looking like a tulip. And now we're going to draw the sepals. So basically here it doesn't really matter if you do not have the sepal and the petal looking like how it looks naturally. You can't overlap because we are still in the process of making our flower like come together. So here you can see I'm drawing over my petal, which is not natural at all. So we're just going to draw like this. So sepal 1, sepal 2, sepal 3. I'm using the razor tool here because it looks a little messed up, and we're going to continue now. So this is another sepal. There's going to be another one. So it doesn't say anywhere that you need 4 sepals only, okay? But it's more decent. It's more naturalistic. So we're just gonna stick to that, right? Now we're going to do this, and we're going to draw downwards for a stalk. Yeah, stalk. We're just gonna complete it downwards. Now we're gonna add another layer, which is again a color layer, but we're going to choose a different brush. We're just going to pen brush at 15 pixel size. Draw over the initial drawing, okay, which is the one we just drew. But this time we need to make sure we don't draw over the sepals, because this is our final layer, sort of. So we're just going to draw very carefully. Yeah. You might know that it's this really beautiful flower with an amazing color combination, and we're going to try to keep this pinkish combination, maybe like layers. How to hide the previous layer? Well, it's very simple. When you have a look at a layer, right, if say layer 1, next to it on the left side, next to its name on the left side, there's this eye sort of a thing. If you tap on it, it vanishes and the layer gets invisible. So we're going to do the same thing for the other 2 layers. And yeah, we're going to make some, few we're gonna do some oh, that looks like chicken's head. Okay, we're gonna do some extra like detailing over here to make it look more of it, like this maybe. So that looks pretty decent, no? We don't seem to like that, so we're just gonna draw it over, and okay, that looks pretty nice. Well, when you need to be. You just need a little bit of practice to master it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to choose a bucket tool. And for that, and there, we're just going to choose a pinkish shade. Okay, we're going to fill it here. On the same layer, right? We're not changing layers. And we're going to choose a greeny shade. I'm going to fill it here. Oh, wow. Okay, now why that happened is because you see the small portion where there's lines not joined. We're going to join it and be alright now. Oh. Okay. Seems good. Now the fill tool back again. I'm gonna choose this color. So that seems a little bit good. If you change the opacity to a little lower, it looks more like those glass painted, flowers, tulips. But we want to make it look a little more better. So we're just gonna duplicate the current layer, which is layer 3. The duplicate option comes about. So if you see this heading called layer list, right about it, there is a plus sign, there is a trash can, and right next to it there's this image behind which there's a square. Well, that is the duplicate button, this one. So when you tap it, the layer gets duplicated. Now you see there are 2 layer 3s. The top one is the layer 3, which we're gonna mess with, or we're gonna do the magic with, right? And we're gonna choose this option. It's called select pen tool. Usually when you use the selection tool, it just covers this huge area. You may not want to select it. But this one, you can actually draw your selection like this. You can just draw on the parts where you want to select. And I'm going to draw over the black lines which we use to sketch our flower. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the selected portion. We are not going to remove the portion which is inside it. Rather, we're going to remove the portion on which we just drew. For that, under those 3 lines on the top left corner, you see this particular option. Tap on it and you get cut, copy, paste. On the top line, we're just going to cut it. Yay. And if we just tap deselect, something fun. We're going to go to the brush tool and we're going to add variants of pink here. We're gonna get to make it look really nice and pretty, okay? We're not going to mess with it much. You must be wondering why the heck I'm doing this. Right? You must be like, oh my god, what's wrong with her? Why is she doing so many colors? Well, it has to look like that. So once we're done with this, we're also going to do something with the green. We're just going to get it a little darkish color, and we're going to do this. Okay, so once we're done with this, we're going to tap on these 3 dots next to the duplicate button here, use filter, and tap Gaussian blur. Okay, how about that? So we just tap down and clip it down, make it visible. Ooh, that's cool. But it still is a little off. We're gonna use the magical select pen tool. And okay. One thing about the select pen tool is you always have to have your brush on pen if you want to use it, else it does not work. Now I just figured that out. Okay, so much time of you drawing with MediBang paint, and voila, now I find out that this exists. So we're just gonna draw like this over that black region. Now this black region comes from the lower layer. If you have not made the lower layer visible, then you may not be even able to figure out that there's this small problem with your drawing. So when you do the clipping mask after that, it's your duty to ensure you have turned on the visibility for the lower layer so that you can actually see how it affects the lower Now we're going to cut this like previously. We're just going to tap there and cut, right? Now deselect. It looks perfect now. You see there are no problems. Gaussian blur again. Oh, just decrease it a little bit more. I'm looking at this particular portion of the pink, and I feel like I should add it to the others as well. We're going to use the eyedropper. I'm going to take this down. Draw here. This portion again, right, to give it that look. This is one important thing. You need to make sure that you do not stay on the same tool, okay? You have to come back to the brush tool, else you'll be doing something else. That happens even with the eraser. You might be erasing along and you'll be like, why isn't this thing working? Oh. And now we're gonna do is we're gonna use the smudge tool because it looks a little uneven here, so we're just gonna mix it like this. You make it bigger. It reduces the work, right? And okay, so that's done. And there's usually a highlight over here. Highlight is basically like this whitish thing which comes on objects when we look at them when the light shown from one end. So for that, we're just gonna take a little tinge of white, a little bit of white, and there you go. Okay. And we're going to use it some of these spots like this. You know, it looks literally really good. Instead of using the smudge tool now, I thought of another beautiful idea. You know what that is? We're going to use this brush called stipple pen. Stipple pen is actually very effective, so we're just going to remove this. Now that was a idea for us to know. Looking Tulip. I'm going to do some final touches over here, and it's going to look just fine. If you want it to look like you made it in a single layer, you know, when you show difference, you'll be like, oh, I just did it in a single layer, you know. So then you can do something. It's called Mojo Layers. Very easy. You can either tap delete over here, or you can just swipe left from layer and delete. Now, you want a background, you can create an amazing background. How to create a background? In the first place, I'm going to hide this. I'm going to teach you how to add background with materials tab. In the layers, add another color layer, and we're going to do something like, you know, we're going to take maybe bluish shades now, because we're going to have a filter. We're going to do mosaic. Okay, that looks pretty. The value is 144 currently, and I tap done. Go to materials tab, tap add, and choose select add from canvas. So you just tap continue. That's all right if it comes like that. And we're just going to delete this layer. Okay, you can make it look like this. Looks interesting, right? You can rotate it. So I'm just gonna have it in a way that it looks like this. Now we're going back to layers. Okay, so when you're gonna add the material, don't forget to change the layer. Else, what happens is just what happened to me right now. It messes up. Go back, add the thing. What? Let's go. I've been trying to make the layer transparent, but it's not been working out for me. So I'm just using the eraser tool. Otherwise, you can make the layer transparent in case it's not working for you as well. That's another idea. We use the select pen tool, and we're going to select this particular flower. Yay! Along with its borders, okay? Okay, so now we selected everything, right? And we're good to go. What we're gonna do is we're going to cut paste this layer onto another layer. We're going to choose the option cut from here, cut the layer, open another color layer, and paste. Okay, when you paste it, paste on a completely different layer. It does not even paste on the layer you just created. So well, this is our finally finished tulip, a beautiful looking one, and we're good to go. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.